Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about significant digits and some rules on significant digits. And this section in my Math 116 class is covered on section 4.1. Okay, significant digits. Okay, I have about 6 rules that are pertained, and I've got examples as well of what to expect with significant digits. Okay, the first rule, in my opinion, is probably one of the easiest ones to remember. That means non-zero, all non-zero are significant. That means if I look at this one right here, 1, 2, and 8, that means I've got 3. Take a look at the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 total significant. Okay? So that means if I ask you to round to the significant digits, you need to understand how many significant digits there are. Now, once again, throughout this video, you have a chance to pause it, work things out, see if you understand it, come back to it if you want to, and then catch back up to us, because all this is recorded. Another thing is all zeros between the significant digits. So that means, first of all, I use my first rule and I say, okay, the 4 and the 1 are significant, and we also include the zeros. So that means there are a total of 4. Take a look at the second example. 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So look at that. So you got 3, you got 4 zeros and a 9. So it means that this is a total of what? I think you all have guessed it. It's 6. Next, you have to include the 0 with the bar above it. So what I mean by this is, I'm looking at significant digits and I'm saying, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, but I do not include the last 3. So in this case, I've got a total of 3. Take a look at the second example of this rule. 380. So this time I include all 3 of them. Okay, rule number 4 is all zeros right of the estimating significant digits of the decimal. So what I mean by that is, if I've got zeros right of the decimal, you have to include the 5 and the 7, and then the 2 zeros after that. So that's a total of 4. So once again, if you want to pause it and see if you can work some of these out, that it would be great. So what about this next one? Well, the 0 normally does not count, but it does with this rule because there's a decimal right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, rule number 5. Zeros right of the significant digits or not. What I mean by that is, if I take a look at 5 and we're reading from left to right, 1, 2, 3, but these do not include because there's no decimal. The answer would be 3. Same thing with the 1 and the 8. The 0 doesn't count. That means there's 2. Now, on a side note, let's just say we took that first one, 4, 7, 8, and I want to add some numbers after it. And for my example, let's just say we're asked to round to 3 significant digits. So what this means is you read from left to right. So 4, 7, 8. So 8 is my key right here. So what does the 8 do? Well, we've been told in school to either round up or round down. That's not the case. You either round up or it stays the same. So either the 8 stays the same or it rounds to a 9. So in this case, since that 9 is greater than 5, remember 5 or greater, you round that up. So this would be, but here's where a common mistake will be. In the past, I've seen this right here, 7, 8, 4, 7, 8, and that's it. No, everything else behind this right here turns to a 0. So it's 4, 7, 8. Well, I'm sorry. That should not have been. That 8 turns into a 9. These turn into zeros. So it's 4, 7, 9, 0, 0, 0. Another example could be, what about if you did 189 or 7 maybe, and say for this example, round to 2 significant digits. What I'm looking at now is this 8, because one is the first one, 8 is the second digit. What does that 7 do? Well, it makes this to turn into a 9, and then automatically that 7 turns into a 0. Okay, zeros left of the decimals are not included. What I mean by that is, I'm going to just cross these out. That means 7, when we're reading left to right, 7 is my first significant digit. That means these are not included. That means there are 3 significant digits. Same thing with this. I'm just crossing them out. That means there's just 1 significant digit. Okay, so I've given us on this one 6 examples of you to tell me how many significant digits there are. And at this point, pause it and then come back and see what we have. Okay, in the first one, I see a 0. Is it significant? Well, I don't see a decimal. So it's not. So that means I've got 2. Number 2, remember decimals that are left of the significant digit means I've got 3. Now number 3, I don't include the first one, but look, 1, 2, 3, and any zeros after. So I do include all of those. That means you have a total of 5. Now my bar means I count everything from the significant digit to the 0 with the bar. So that means I have a total of 4. You have to include that 0 in there. Number 5, I've got 4, 5, and you have to include that 0. It's got the bar, but you don't include that last 0. It means I've got a total of 3. My last one, I've got 205.0008. So my 2 and my 8 are my significant digits. They're the first and last letter, or my first or last number. So what you need to do is you need to go ahead and count everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, thank you for listening. My next video I'm going to talk about is accuracy and precision, which is section 4.2 in my Math 116 class. Thank you for listening.